Hello and welcome. This is the last class of January, and today we're going to do a little bit more movement. So the last two classes we had mostly lying down, mostly seated. This one will be a combination of seated, standing poses with one lying down pose. So we're going to have a little bit more movement to kind of move some of the stagnation out and move the energy through our body. That'll help give us an immune booster. It'll help if you have any stress in your life, anxiety, any of those kinds of things. So we're going to start today with a quote. The quote is, "The practice of yoga brings us face to face with the extraordinary complexity of our own being." That's Sarah Aurobindo. So keep that in mind as we go through today's class. We are going to do some half sun salutations where we do forward bends and halfway lifts. So if you know you're going to need blocks, go ahead and grab those and have those handy. Otherwise, you don't need any other props for today's class. So let's get started on all fours, and we'll do some cat and cows to warm up the spine, get us going for today's more of a movement class without being too strenuous or challenging. So come to tabletop position with your palms, your wrist underneath of your shoulders and your knees underneath of your hips. And on the inhale, arch your lower back and look up, open your throat. Exhale and round in, tucking your chin, pulling your belly button to your navel, to your belly button to your spine. Inhale. Arch your lower back, look up, and exhale, round in, tucking your chin. Two more. Inhale, arch your lower back, look up, open the throat. Exhale, round your spine, pull your belly button into your spine, chin in. One more. Inhale, look up, and exhale, round in. Come back to a neutral spine. And from here, we're just going to open up the shoulder a little bit. So just take that right arm and thread it underneath and behind your left hand. You'll come down your right shoulder and your right temple. Breathe here for a moment. You'll feel a nice little twist also, along with the opening of that shoulder. Breathing here. Come back up. Now we'll go to the other side. So now take your left arm and thread that underneath behind your right hand and bring your right temple and your right shoulder to the ground. Sorry, your left temple and left shoulder to the ground. You're looking over to your right. Breathing here. And come back up, return to neutral spine. And now from here, these blocks out of the way just for a moment. From here, we're going to do we're going to go from down dogs to planks, just to open up the shoulders. I will show you the modification first, if you'd rather skip the full plank. So we're going to come into a downward dog first, and then I will show you the modification we're going to do. So let's just come into a downward dog, lift those hips up. Your hands are about shoulder width apart. Legs are hip width apart, or maybe wider if you're really tight. So the more you bring your legs out, the easier this is going to be to help open up your hamstrings. And from here, just pedal out your legs a little bit. Move side to side. Do what you need to do to really open up. This is your first down dog of the day, more than likely. So just really open up into that. Stretching one leg long, then the other. Settling in when you feel that you're ready to. And again, wider legs are helpful. Now from here, the modification would be bring your knees to the ground and simply come forward. We're not going to go all the way down. We're just going to come forward into a plank. So this is the modified plank. If you'd like to do full plank, then what we're going to do is from downward dog, going to rock forward into plank. Okay? So you pick the variation that works best for you. And we're going to roll through that a couple of times just to warm up the shoulders and then get a little dynamic movement going. So we're going to inhale, rock forward to plank or modified plank. Exhale back down to downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale back to downward facing dog. We're going to do that two more on the next two. I will show it with the modification. So we're going to inhale, rock forward, or in this case, come on your knees if you're doing the modification, and rock forward into modified plank. Exhale, come back to your downward dog. Inhale, down to your knees, rock forward into modified plank. Exhale and come back in to your downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale and rock forward to plank or modified plank. Exhale back to downward facing dog. From there, we're going to look forward, bend the knees, and just walk forward on your mat. Stand all the way up into mountain pose. Now here is where we're going to do some half sun salutations. So if you know you're going to need some blocks, go ahead and grab those and have those handy at whatever height works for you. So we're going to continue to warm up the body before we move into a few standing postures. So from here, stand tall. All four corners of your feet are grounded into the mat. Standing nice and tall, and take a nice deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And now on the inhale, rise your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. You can use the blocks if you need to. Inhale and halfway lift with your flat back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, come all the way back up to mountain. Arms reaching overhead. And lower your arms back to mountain pose. Okay, we'll do that twice more. Continue to warm up the hamstrings. Go at your pace. If you need to go slower, go slower. But trying, what you're going for is matching your breath with your movement. So here we go. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, touching ground or blocks. Inhale, look out halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, bring your arms all the way back up to touch overhead. And exhale, come back to mountain pose. Once more. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Hands touch ground or blocks. Inhale, lift halfway up. Look forward. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, arms up, reach overhead. And exhale, back to mountain pose. All right, very nice. So now we're going to move into some standing postures. So from here, and again, keep the blocks handy because you may need them for a couple of the poses. So just keep them at the top of your mat, close by where you can reach them if you need to. So from here, we're not going to do a lot of down dogs and chaturangas today. We will do a couple of down dogs, but we're going to skip the plank poses and all that for today. So I do want to get some flow without being too challenging today. So let's start from here in mountain pose, breathing nice and deep. Again, feeling all four corners of your feet rooted firmly into the ground, into the mat. Breathing here. Let's do a couple more nice deep inhales and exhales just to clear all that out for a moment. Close your eyes if you like. One more deep inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to step our left foot back and open up into a warrior two. So remember that warrior two is you're going for a heel, your front heel to your back arch alignment. So your front heel should intersect the arch of your left foot. So your left foot is back, your front foot is forward and bent at a 90-degree angle. Take a nice deep breath here. And then bring your arms out to the sides, looking over that right hand. Breathe here nice and deep. And exhale and straighten that front knee. We'll do a couple of dynamic movements here to also continue warming and strengthening the body. Exhale and bend deep into that front leg. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, rebend it. Twice more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, rebend. Once more. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, rebend it into a nice 90-degree angle there. Take another inhale. And now on the exhale, we're going to come into a side angle pose. So bring your right elbow to your right knee. Open up your chest to the left. Make sure it's opening up almost toward the ceiling. And now bring that left hand up and overhead and out to the side. So you have a nice long line from the left hand all the way down to the left toes, your left foot. Breathing here. Try not to be turned this way. Try to get that chest open and turn open to the side. You'll also be getting a nice side stretch here on your left side. So breathe here for a couple of rounds. And now come back up to warrior two briefly. And here's where you may need your block. So now we're going to straighten that front leg. You can bring that back leg in just a little bit for triangle pose. I'm going to grab the block. My hamstrings are giving me the fit slightly. And from here, breathe. You're still facing to the side. And now you're going to bring that right arm out like you're holding a tray, like you're presenting that tray to someone. Start to tilt your body over. Bring that right hand down to the block or to the mat or even to your shin if you don't have a block. And now from there, you can either leave this left hand down or if you want to, go straight up and overhead. So now both your arms are in a nice straight line. And breathing here for a few rounds. So these postures are heating, which is wonderful for the winter time when it's cold. And heating poses are also fantastic for helping to reduce stress. It helps burn out some of that stress. So if you have any stress going on, it's a great practice for that. Another nice deep breath in and out. Rebend that front knee. And now we're going to come back up and bring your hands to the ground. And we're going to step back into a downward facing dog. So both hands will be in the front. Step back, lift your hips up, pedal out your legs, let all that go. All that work we did on the right side. Couple another more deep breaths here, in and out through your nose at your own pace. Letting all that go. And feeling the heat that you're building. From here, bend your knees and step forward on the mat. Inhale and halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. And inhale, rise all the way back up, hands overhead to touch. And exhale, back into your mountain pose. Okay, so you know where we're going now for the other side. Here we go. Just for a moment, take a nice deep breath in and out through your nose in your mountain pose. Feel all four corners of your feet ground into the mat. And now we're going to go to the other side. And I'm going to turn around so that I'm still facing you for the other side. So you stay where you're at. Inhale here. And on the exhale, we're now going to step that right foot back and open up into warrior two. So now your left foot is forward and bent, and your right leg is back. And again, heel to arch alignment. Inhale, bring both your arms up out to the sides and look over that front arm. Breathing here nice and deep, and out through the nose. On the inhale, straighten that front leg. On the exhale, rebend it. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, rebend it to a 90-degree angle. Take a nice inhale there. And on the exhale, we're going to come into side angle pose. So bring that left arm down to your left knee. And bring that right arm up overhead, turning the chest to the right. And bring that right arm up overhead. Grounding really deeply into that right back foot. Keeping your front knee bent. And keeping the chest turned to the side. Try not to do where you're turning in and down toward the floor. You want to be more open in this pose. Breathe here, in and out through the nose. And now inhale, come back up to a brief warrior two. And grab your blocks if you know you're going to need it for triangle. Now straighten that front leg. Step that back foot in just a little bit. Now in this one, I'm going to show a modification without using a block, but using just holding onto your shin. So in case you don't have blocks and you can't reach the ground or that's difficult. So from here, stand up nice and tall. Come out of your waist. Bring that left hand forward like you're presenting something onto a tray and start to tilt your body to the side, to the front of the room. And now bring that left hand down to the block, floor, or your shin. Spin your chest open, and now bring that right arm up overhead. And it should be in line with your left. Breathing here, looking out to the side. If your neck is bothering, you can always look down, but just keep that chest spinning open to the side. Breathing here. Building that heat. And now come back up to warrior two briefly, and now we'll plant the hands and go back into a downward facing dog. Plant your hands, step your feet back, and really pedal out your legs, let all that go. You've built some great heat, some strength, opened up a lot of your body in those poses in that standing series. Breathe here for 2 more nice deep in breaths and out breaths at your own pace. On the inhale, bend your legs and step forward. Coming out halfway, lift your body up halfway, and exhale, fold in. Inhale, come all the way back up, arms reaching up overhead, and exhale back to your mountain pose. Very nice. All right, now we're going to come down to the ground. So let's come seated onto our mats, and we're going to come into bound angle pose and kind of let some of that go. So bring the soles of your feet together. Scoot your seat back a bit, and I would like to start this first one. Let's start out with more of a diamond shape, so have your feet a little bit further out in front of you instead of further in. Inhale here, breathing nice and deep, sitting up tall in your spine. And on the exhale, fold in any amount that feels good for you. Feel a nice release into your hips and your groin area. Breathing here. Letting go of any stress, any tension that may still be there. And hopefully feeling warm wherever you may be. It might be a cold winter day like it is here, and hopefully this helped warm you up a bit. Inhale, come back up. And now we're going to bring the feet in a little bit closer to the degree it works for you. So you don't have to go very far, just move them in a bit. Same thing. Sit up nice and tall. And exhale, hinge forward any amount. That might just be here. It might be further. You pick what's best for your body. I'll demo staying a little bit further upright. And while you're doing that, energetically push those knees down toward the ground to really open up that groin area. Breathing here, in and out through the nose. Inhale, nice and deep. And exhale, back out through the nose. From here, we're going to come and lay on our back. Your feet will be hip distance apart. Soles of the feet planted on the ground. Shoulders on the ground, on the back. And now from here, plant your hands next to your sides and just lift your hips up gently into a nice, easy bridge pose. So you can tuck those shoulders in underneath to really open up that chest. Remember to keep your knees pointing up toward the ceiling, not letting them splay out or in. Try to keep them pointed straight up. Breathing here, nice and deep into the chest, into the stomach. Close your eyes if you like. Letting go. Exhale, lower back down. And now from here, hug your knees into your chest. A nice squeeze. And take both of your knees and drop them over to your left. Bringing that right arm out to the side, out to your right hand side, and looking over to the right. A nice supine twist here. Releasing that lower back, releasing what we've done so far today. Breathing here at your own pace. A couple more inhales and exhales through the nose. And now inhale and come back up to center. Hug those knees into your chest again. And now from here, exhale and bring both of your knees over to the right. And bring your arm out to the left. Stretching out through that right arm, looking on your left arm and looking out over to the left. Taking some nice deep breaths here. Releasing that lower back and all of that go. Close your eyes here if you'd like. A few more deep breaths in and out through your nose. Letting everything go and coming back to a nice calm state. And now inhale and bring your knees back into your chest. And this is a great place right here to just let everything go on the mat and go into Shavasana if you have the time. I am trying to keep these classes in January to 20 minutes. So for those of you without the time, I understand. We're going to come back up. But if you have the time, just lay out and get into a nice Shavasana and take 2, 3, 5-minute long Shavasana. For those that are on a time limit, go ahead and roll over onto your side and we're going to come back up. Seated. If you have time for Shavasana, please take it. If not, I understand you got to get on with your day. So thank you for joining me. Thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.